I am by no means a surfer. I have a cousin by marriage that is an awesome surfer. He's very good. He's surfed on some of the biggest surf beaches in the world, especially Hawaii. But he tried to get me up on a surfboard, and it just wasn't happening. But maybe I'm just not coordinated enough. I don't know. But bottom line is, it's an awesome skill. It really is. And I'm not. These guys know what they're doing. But there was an expression I learned, and it's always stuck with me. When it was getting really rough out there, or if it was a really difficult wave or something they were going to ride, it was a gnarly situation. Gnarly, gnarly. And I'm stealing that word because I think it's a very good word, and I think it describes what we're in now, a gnarly situation that gets increasingly more precarious and uncertain by the day, and you have to be in la la land not to be aware of it. As the weather gets worse, as we go deeper into winter, it's obvious to everyone that this is not a good time for things to go down. Whether it be power outages, storms, food shortages, and above all, war breaking out. Because it's not the season for it. I remember when we had a major tornado come through my part of the world, northern Alabama, many years ago. I think it's like 7, 8 years ago. Um, and I was out and about during the storm, and I heard the storm. It was like a freight train going through. Of course, I was in a safe place, took shelter. But when the storm lifted, when it was over, I got in my car and I just saw the debris around me everywhere. And it was just, wow, overwhelming. And the power, of course, was out everywhere. But I didn't realize then that the power would be down for 5 days. 5 days. And I saw a lot of things during those 5 days. I saw gas lines I thought I'd never see. And it was a kind of a foretaste of what I think is coming. But here's the thing, it happened in May. It happened between the cold months and the hot months. It was an ideal time, really, for something like that to happen. The biggest inconvenience was I couldn't make coffee. I'm making, and where I was working, they had to go out and get a generator, and I was still able to work. But the first day, we were going around with flashlights and everything, and that was a little inconvenient. But I consider myself blessed. It was not a difficult time. People, I was still in this apartment complex I'm in. They had grills and things, and people just got together, were very neighborly, cooked their food and shared it, because otherwise it was going to go bad. We had the same thing happen at the Kroger store where I was working. I was working in the meat department even then, and the meat manager said, "Well, let's break out the meat and cook it up because it's just going to go bad." And so I didn't really eat that bad either, considering that you couldn't cook anything electric. But the bottom line was it was a foretaste, but it was easy because of the climate. The windows kept the windows open. It was cool. It wasn't too hot. Wasn't too cold. But see, now we're heading into winter. So with these things coming upon us, if you don't have a alternative heat source or something, and the power goes, it's bad. And I'm concerned. I really am. I'm concerned. N- Not so much for myself, but for elderly people I know and people that are in precarious situations, and I'm very concerned for people who are totally, totally unprepared for what's coming, because it's kind of obvious there's going to be major food shortages. I mean, if you have ships off the west coast not coming to the port, ships off the east coast not coming to the port, and then you have the business up in Canada, yeah, we're going to see it real soon. So, I can't tell you anymore how to prepare for it because This channel is not centered on that. That's information you would get on a channel like, especially Fear No Man, that kind of thing. But once again, it's not just going to be the weather. It's not just going to be the cold temperatures. It's all these other things that are just have been teetering for so long. I just don't think they can be held back. If I were a betting person, I I'd probably bet everything I had that we're going to be going to war. I just wouldn't give you a date. Everything that we're going to be going to war. So once again, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you can do psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I can't help you. You have to do it on your own. You have to get your mind tough. You have to really know these things are coming. I shared about a woman who knew she was going to end up in a concentration camp, and she lived in cold temperatures. She ate less. She pretty much starved herself to prepare physically, and that would be psychologically too. So I don't know if you want to go to those extremes, but you've mentally just got to realize it's coming and not pretend. That's the essential thing, and you've got to stay centered, and you have to be mentally disciplined because we have so many things to distract us now. And the key word is focus, focus, focus. Keep your focus on Him, on Jesus always, because He will get you through anything. And if you start to get distracted and you start to get influenced by people, I have people in my world that could come at me at any time and distract me. You got to keep going back to Him, going back to Him, going back to Him. And it's discipline. It's self-discipline. Discipline the mind. Schedule yourself if you can. Sometimes I have things that interrupt my schedule, but if you can get scheduled and stay focused on what you're doing, stay in the moment and stay centered on that, it's a good thing. But as far as the practical preps, no, if you don't have them by now, it's not a good thing. It's not. But you know, if you trust in the Lord, He will see you through. You've just got to. And I'm just quite certain that this is it. That we're in the year. This is the year where it's going to start to unfold, and it's going to happen very quickly, and it's going to get really gnarly quickly. I think it already is. I see empty shelves, and I hear about empty shelves too, and I see people getting antsy and anxious because they don't know what's coming next. And this is just the general population. So when it really does hit, they're going to go crazy. It's going to happen. They're going to be looting, they're going to be rioting, they're going to be turning on us, they're going to be like animals because they don't have. First of all, a lot of them have this, and very few of them have Christ living in them. So what's going to happen. Other spirits are going to jump into them and use them. So bottom line is, the reality is we have a lot of obstacles ahead. We are in, like I said, unprecedented times, and we're going to see terrible things. And I think the powers that be would see the wintertime as an ideal time to make a lot of their moves and to bring the squeeze, okay? Because people are vulnerable, people will be afraid, people will be cold, and they'll be hungry, and they'll squeeze. You watch how they'll squeeze. And many will capitulate. And, I'm not looking forward to it at all. I'm dreading it. Because I know, being physically disabled, it's gonna take a toll. Will I make it through? I don't know. That's in God's hands. But I'm trusting in Him, and you got to stay focused on Him. I can't believe this is almost 10 minutes long. No, see, that's one more thing. The time is barreling by. You thought it was going fast last year? No, it's double fast now. Get your house in order. It's gnarly out there, folks.